Hi, favored ones. Welcome to Soul Reflections. So, in today's segment, I'd like to talk about when growth happens. Um, Kasi this week, something, ewan ko ba, parang may nag-shift sa loob ko. When I started being open about counseling work, about mindfulness, about my practice in meditation, um, I decided to put everything in my Facebook page. So I created a Facebook page. Hi Glenda. Ayun. So I created a Facebook page specifically so that I'd have a space where I could share my thoughts, my activities, and everything that's related to what I call God's work. Okay, but then this week, all of a sudden, I decided to change the title, the name of the Facebook page. So instead of it being my own personal brand, I rebranded it into Soul Talk. Kasi napansin ko naman that most of my contents were about Soul Talks, all about the episodes, and everything else is about my own particular reflections. So, halos puro ganun yung content. So, I decided, sige, let's just make it Soul Talk. And then, all the other activities that I'm going to do, I'll be posting it inside my personal profile account. And that was such a huge step for me because before, I wasn't really, di naman sa open, but I wasn't ready. That's the correct word. I wasn't ready to post things about meditation, things about my workshops, or things about my own personal reflections in my profile account, because that's where most of my friends are, most of my acquaintances are, and I want it to be private. I want my life to be private. So there's that part of me that segregates everything that's about counseling sa meditation and all activities related to mindfulness. It's all in the Facebook page, and sa personal account iba yung nilalagay ko. But this week sabi ko parang kailangan ibahin na. It doesn't really matter naman if most of my friends or most of my acquaintances will be able to see what I'm really doing. So kahit na maghalo-halo yung PhD, yung finance, yung counseling in my profile page, it's okay because that's who I am. And that's when I realized how much I have grown in, I don't know when it started actually, pero ang laki ng growth. Kasi from that person who used the excuse na sa page na lang parang there's also that fear din kasi na at least yung mga tao na nasa page, nilike nila yon. So there's already that consent that they'd want to, that they'd want to get those kinds of contents. Pero dun sa profile ko, syempre, hindi naman di ba? Parang, they're my friends. So, kaya ganon. Friends ko lang sila, kaya sila nandun. But whether they like what it is that I post or not, they can unfollow me, they could, hide me or, those things. So in a way, what I'm driving at is that I wasn't ready before to really be so open about my work. Unlike this week when I decided to rebrand yung page into Soul Talk, and then all my other activities na lang dun sa profile account, which is, I believe, the natural thing to do. And the thing is, sinabayan ko siya ng action. Pinalitan ko agad yung name ng page after having that realization. So there's some changes in the way I do things, what I'm used to. And it just amazes me that ito pala yung growth na sinasabi. Ito yung parang, yes, natuto ka na talaga. Yung parang may realization, but then sinabayan mo ng actions. Kasi it's different when you only know it inside your head but you're not doing anything. Kasi kung alam mo inside your head, there's only an understanding. you're not yet creating the actions that necessary to support that learning. So, sabi ko, ito pala yun. Ito yung difference ng understanding and realizing. And, when you realize things, lagi siyang may kasamang actions. And that's when true growth happens. And wala lang, parang natuwa lang ako na nangyari na at this time. And it took a while. If I was the person before, I would have felt so bad about myself. Kasi, parang iisipin ko, ba't nga ba ako hindi ready, diba? Parang, why was I giving myself all these excuses, all these justifications? Why was I hiding behind the page? Why not just, express myself, my real self, out in the open through my profile account? Kasi nandun naman lahat ng mga kaibigan ko, diba? Why is it okay to talk about these kinds of things to strangers, but it wasn't okay for me to talk about it to those who know me personally? So, 'di ba, parang may disalignment, meron discrepancy in some ways. And that's when I realized that there's still that little hint of fear before. I was afraid to be judged by my friends, my acquaintances. Ayoko makarinig ng ganyan. Or they know me as a certain person. And if all of a sudden I show, what it is that I really love, what I'm doing, it would be so different, diba? Parang iiba yung perception nila sa akin. And I've encountered that. I've had cousins who were kind of, natatawa or they find it weird when I talk about spirituality and all that stuff. And I just brush it aside. Parang, it's okay. They just find it weird. Kaya sila natatawa. But then before, there's that, ba't ganon? Diba? Yun lang yun, ba't ganon? And it's actually a reflection of me. I'm mirroring what it is that I fear. So, big lesson. But right now, it's, accepting where I was before and accepting that hindi pa ako ready dati. But right now, okay, sige. There's already that courage to express myself and to be open about my work. And even if people find it so odd that I'm in the academe and at the same time I'm also doing counseling work, I'm merging spirituality and finance, I know where I'm being called at, and I know which direction I should be taking. So as long as I'm clear with that, the opinions of other people, will just be taken constructively. And of course, with an open heart rin. Kasi syempre, diba, when other people have their opinion, it's all for the best naman. There's no negative intentions. Unless meron talagang negative intentions. But most of my friends naman, most of my acquaintances, those that I really like, behind every opinion, I have an awareness of where it is coming from. And I would know if it's coming from a good place or something more negative. So, and because of that awareness, okay na to be more open, because there's already that level of discernment, and there's already that me myself wanting to be as authentic as I can be, and to express it openly, not just to strangers but also to friends and acquaintances. And I know that a lot of my friends are already, getting a feel of what it is, yung parang totoong essence ko as a person. And it feels great, to openly talk about all these things with them. And I hope that if you're listening to this, whether it's live, I'm not sure if Glenda is still here, or if through the replay, I hope that you also have the courage to be who you truly are, and to express that authenticness not just to strangers, but also to friends and acquaintances. So I wish you all well, and happy Sunday. God bless everyone.